Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Lupin the third part 6 episode number 22 reaction. Right, the previous episode was another standalone episode and we went to like a place where there's like rumors about mermaids, and then there was that girl who just made up stories in her delusions about Fujiko and how Goemon and Jigen were trying to woo her, and she was like in her head she was like trying to make like a story between them, and then Rupan comes in as well, and it was crazy. It was a very wild episode, and in the end, like, everyone was trying to go for the treasure. However, it turns out it they didn't really know about where it was, and like, yeah, stuff like that, like weird stuff like that happened, and in the end, like, the girl had a better understanding of what, like, love is, and like she decided that she's going to become like her mother and Fujiko in the future, and as cool as them. So that was the episode. So let's see what happens in this one, episode 22. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Hmm. Okay, what's happening here? Starting. Goemon is just fishing. Don't disturb him. Yeah, he's fishing. Wait, who's this? New character? With that's her mom? I thought that was her picture. My mother's documents. Wait, so this is another standalone episode, I'm guessing. Finn. That's her name? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Oh, that's it. What's she looking for? Tape. What? Oh, her mother, I'm guessing. Yeah, like they look exactly the same. Okay. There you go. Yeah, just copy paste. My God. Oh, where's her father? Oh, she doesn't know. Okay. So she's trying to find, yeah, she's investigating. As a mother's diary. Sean. Okay. Putting on and off. Hmm. Because of the weight. Who is this girl? The one with her? Yeah. Maybe upper right. Yeah. But I don't think we should just assume like that. Yeah. Wow. I wonder what has Lupin to do with this whole thing. They must be somehow related to this. Hmm. Wait, she's pregnant? Wait, what? Wait, this is weird. What's going on here? What? What? Alan. Okay. Okay, I don't think you should assume just like this. Who? Oh boy. Wait, so Sean is constantly calling them. Madam, who? Yeah. Wait, Tomoy? Wait, is this not a standalone episode? I don't know. Who's this? Oh, great. Hired a private tutor. Okay, here we go. Is it Tomoe? Something is going on here. Oh my god. Yep, it's Tomoe. What is happening? What? What the hell is going on with this episode? Sean and Mario. Okay, not only the old woman, but that girl is also kind of acting weird sometimes. This girl, something. Wait, what? Found some cassette that she had. Is she like? I feel like that's actually her own picture, not her mother's picture. She probably had something's going on. I feel like the twist in the end will be like she was actually her mother from the beginning. That was her diary or something. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Yo, what the hell? I feel like she probably had a miscarriage or something, and she's thinking that she's the daughter of something like that is going on. Like she's mistaking her own self to be her mother. Probably something like that. Because it's like a trauma. Like she probably had a miscarriage or something. What? Wait, what? She's going on the roof? Okay. Broadcast another one of Morrison. I think I'm correct. She's mistaking herself to be her mother. Probably because of a trauma. Hmm. What absolute truth. Stefan. Wait. Stefan? Wait. Oh my god, they're getting the information from her. She's like, oh. Like you've seen like not all the information I guess, but a lot of the information's what the hell is that? Ah, there she is. Yeah, they're getting a lot of the information from her. Because I always thought where are they getting the information from when they're trying to go and find Tomoe? Okay. Mm, Catherine. What the hell is? Oh my god. Doctor, teacher. Oh, she doesn't look happy. Wait, what's happening? Yeah? Alan had been shot. So, yeah, it wasn't Sean's child. It was Ken Harper. Yeah. Rupan's here. Oh my god. Oh, it's a big one. North. Oh. Wait, she's helping. Oh, I guess she was like helping us from the beginning. That's that girl, isn't it? Who is infatuated with Rupan? Oh wait. Yep. Hop in. Yeah. They're like they didn't realize it was Rupan. Or maybe they did, I don't know. But, so she was already pregnant by that time, yeah, obviously. Yep, Matia's also here. Wait, what? What's happening? Why are both of them at the same place? What's happening? Yeah. Okay, wait. Wait, the bouquet of flower. Oh wait, so I was wrong. That was Mariel's daughter. Okay, wait. You know the name. Okay, never mind. My theory was wrong. I thought Finn and the mother was the same person, and she had like some kind of a trauma. It's Mariel who. Yeah. Okay. She's just there waiting. I am still so confused about a lot of things in this episode. What was that scene with the person shooting in the? Oh my god! I. Oh my god. Oh, it's the clouds are going away. Wait, I am so confused about this episode, especially the final part. I need to go back to that part and watch it again. And probably try to figure out what happened from from Reddit or probably somewhere like that, because I think I don't understand that final section. What happened there? Like, I could understand that Tomoe was doing something to Maria, like, but then what was that in the end? Where and then okay, I'm just everything's like all over the place. First of all, I had like from the beginning I thought that Mariel didn't exist. It was actually her because the faces looked literally the same. So I was like, okay, it's probably like she, like like when she was like in her stomach, she was like doing like this, and the lady was like, oh, like like I have to make the what's the name, the mittens before mittens. I think that's what they call. Yeah, before like your baby comes. I was like, oh wait, is this like something where she's mistaking Mariel to be her mother while that Mariel doesn't exist? That was her. She was pregnant and she had a miscarriage, and that like became a trauma for her, and now she's thinking that that wasn't her who had the miscarriage. Okay, that's it. But it was like a mother, something like that. I was thinking like that's what was happening, and not only her, I also thought her grandma, that is like that old lady, she also had like a little bit of a like a situation, like a mental, like like trauma, and that's why she was also like acting like that. Yeah, by the end of it we do understand that she had like a mental trauma about like like where she was like looking at Fit what was her name, Finn, yeah, Finn as her daughter. But Finn was fine. Finn, the whole situation with Finn was okay. Like she was, I don't know. You know what, I'm gonna go through this section. All right, so let me talk about this episode overall. Overall, I kind of understood what happened, but I need to go back to like the sections where I wasn't able to understand what went on, and I need to check that part. So overall, this was a very interesting episode. I have to say, like the way they made this episode was like a, like a in a very mystery style. They kind of did it, like showing stuff which happened before and like the past and the present kind of converging together, which made it even more difficult to understand, or tricky to understand. And excuse me. And yeah, so okay, first of all, now I don't understand what's up with Tomoe. Like, what's Tomoe's deal? Like, she's like she's teaching other people, and then she's like, what is she doing? Like hypnotizing them or something? Like, what's happening? So, okay, you know what? My guess is like she's actually kind of like the students that she's teaching, she's kind of somehow hypnotizing them or doing something to them and making them her, like, like, kind of like her pawns for something. Like, because everyone who got taught by her, some way or the other, I don't know, they were given a mission. Okay, you know what? Let me first figure out this episode. What the hell happened here? So first of all, let me go. There's Finn. Yeah, Finn had her mother's diary. Her mother's name was Mariel, I think. And she comes back, and Anna is her grandma's name, and Daniel is her grandpa's name. Okay, so Anna and Daniel were there in the house, while Anna is trying to find something. What was she trying to find? Just a minute. Daniel, I cannot find them. Tape. Okay. Oh, the tape that she was like, okay, okay, playing later on. Right. And then she's like, yeah, there you go. He kind of explains it here. I didn't really realize. I didn't properly read this part. Anna seems to be reliving the time that she spent with her mother 15 years ago. There you go. He kind of says it here. So yeah, like her Anna's situation wasn't really that much of a surprise, but I'm very confused about Mariel's situation. Not Mariel, sorry, Finn's situation, because I thought she was also having like some kind of a. But okay, you know what? Let's see. So obviously, Anna looks at Finn as her daughter because. Oh, I just realized. That was why. Oh, it wasn't that. Okay, my mistake. I made a big misunderstanding here. When Anna was like, oh, like your like kid is going to, like you have a baby and put her hand on her stomach, I was like, wait, so is Finn also having like some kind of a like some kind of a trauma which made him like, that's why I made this whole theory as to, I thought that even Finn thought that she had a baby. No, Finn knew that her grandma was reliving the past. That's why she didn't say anything at that time. When like Anna was like, oh, your baby is going to come, I have to make the dress before she come, like like the baby is born. So she knew her like her grandmother was reliving the past, so that's why she didn't really say anything at that point. I made a big misunderstanding here. I thought that even she thought she had a baby, which wasn't the case, and that's why I made this whole theory about her actually being her mother, and something happened to her in the past. She had a miscarriage, and I thought that she was mistaking herself to be her mother. Like people do this, like when they have like some kind of a trauma, they kind of try to push the trauma somewhere else. That is why multiple personality disorders and these type of things happen. To get out of that trauma, they kind of like, whatever happened to them, they push it away somewhere, someplace. And I thought something like that happened here. She had a trauma, probably she had a miscarriage or something, and that's why I thought that trauma, she tried to push it away to her mother so that she herself could save her own. That's why she had like made up a whole persona about her mother in her head, who looked exactly like her. There's a few things that confused me. The first thing was like how her mother and she looked exactly the same, but like they're parent and daughter, so that's understandable. But still, it made me think that she was having some kind of a delusion about her mother, who never existed, or at least Mariel never existed. Also, the fact that I thought that when Anna kind of like said, oh, your baby is, going to be born, I thought like she herself thought that her baby was like, but no, like she knew that her grandma was doing something like that because she was reliving the past. Okay, it makes more sense now. I see. That was the main main part where I got into this whole misunderstanding of, and I thought that she was just like thinking that her mother, like she and her mother were the same. But okay, no, Finn was fine. Finn didn't have any kind of sort of trauma. Finn was just trying to find out about her mother, and that's what was happening. But then what was up with that whole like thing in the end where she gets like, almost gets like a heart attack or something? I don't understand that part. What was up with that? When Lupin rushes in and like helps her, and that happened exactly at the same time when her mother probably went into labor, when she was reliving that past in her head. Okay, so wait a minute. Then comes the whole thing with the whole Sean and what was the other guy's name? Alan or something? I don't remember. That whole thing where she tries to figure out what happened like, who was the one who her mother loved. And at first it seemed like Sean was the one, because she wrote about is Sean. But then comes in Alan, and then in the end everything kind of gets like mixed up together, where it seems like the baby is Alan's baby, but Sean, like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go step by step again. Okay, so yeah, like the next part, like I said, like, this part kind of confused me, because when Anna put her hands on her stomach, and she's like, oh, I have to make these dress before your baby is born. Like I said, she was just didn't say anything at that time, because she knew her grandmother was reliving the past. That's why she didn't say anything. But I thought, like, because she didn't say anything, I thought she herself was also in that misconception that she had a baby, but she actually didn't. That's why I made this whole theory about her being her mother, which wasn't actually the case. Okay, so yeah, and this kind of makes sense, like kind of answers the question as to why Anna always came up and was like, oh, your tutor is here, because again she's reliving her past. So Tomoe used to come and teach her mother. That was what she was reliving. She thought the tutor is here. And obviously, like, Finn knew what's going on, so Finn didn't really say anything to her. So the way this episode was made was kind of tricky. Like I said, it kind of made me misunderstand a lot of the scenes, because the way they were doing it is like they were showing the present and the past, and through Anna's perspective. There were certain scenes where you could see, like, Tomoe comes in and talking to Mariel, and that was through Anna's perspective, which kind of switched from the present to the past, back and forth, kind of. That's why it kind of like confused me sometimes, like which was happening in the present. And the fact, and it didn't help that her and her mother had the same face, so it didn't help. That didn't help either. I was getting confused sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually happening in the past, it's not the present. I had to recorrect myself multiple times, where I had to understand, like, yeah, this is actually happening in the past, and we're seeing this through Anna's perspective. Okay, so mentioned that Mariel had delicate constitution, wanted to reassure her that everything will be okay. That's why she put, like, made the, like, brought the tutor in. But sadly Mariel passed away. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, and you can see that Anna goes up, and Anna, like, knocks at the empty door, like, empty room. She opens the door and she relives the past again. Like, she sees. She was like, oh, do you need some tea? And Tomo is sitting there, and Mariel is sitting there. And yeah, it's an empty room. She's just staring, and then she looks at Mariel for a moment, and just, like, completely just moves her face away from Mariel, because I guess it's probably something like, like, since she's reliving the past, like, as soon as she looks at Mariel, she quickly looks away, because again, that will be a discrepancy in the memory, wouldn't it? Because how could Mariel and Anna be there at the same time? So that's why she immediately moves her head away from Mariel. God damn it, I'm mixing up the names. From Finn, sorry. Okay, so she finds out the tapes after that, Finn. Okay, so in the tapes there were, like, sessions with the tutor, which is Tomoe, and by listening to the tapes I can understand. Okay, her tutor was someone who could elevate traumatic memories. Wait a minute, what? I might find out what exactly happened to Mariel on that day. Oh my god. The power got cut. I might have to pause the recording here. No, wait, what's happening? Just a sec, guys. Yeah, the power got cut. Oh, there you go. Yep. Alright, I'm just going to continue for a little bit more, and then I'm going to pause the recording. Okay, so right, I need to understand this part. Her tutor was... Okay, so she starts listening to the tapes to understand what happened, the sessions with the tutors. By listening to this tape, I might find out what exactly happened to Mariel on that day. Her tutor was Someone who could elevate traumatic memories. Okay. They're my mother's documents. Okay, starting today, the tutor. Oh, it's back. Yes, I don't have to pause the recording now. Wait, just a sec, guys. Yeah. All right. Okay, you know what? First things first, I need to do something here. I have to check if there's a better way, like summary of this episode, because there's a lot of parts that I feel like I need help, like external help. Wait a minute. What episode is this? Episode 22? Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. So let's leave the door open. Okay, so Tome always kept the door open. Hopefully that'll put your... Okay, so one thing I'm trying to think. What is this trauma she's... Oh! I just realized... I was like, what trauma is she talking about? Oh, the trauma when... What's his name? That guy who probably like... You know, like that scene in the end where Sean was like, oh, you assaulted her or something. That trauma. Okay, you know what? I'm going to read this and I can say like there's like a little summary here to better understand this, and then I'm going to probably after rewatching the certain scenes I'll understand better. There's spoilers ahead. I only read if they've either seen the episode. Okay. Mother's Documents, final guest written episode of Lupin. Okay, plot of the episode ties into the main story arc of the second star. At this point, it sees both Lupin and Mattia searching for history. Yeah, I understood about that. And location of the tutor and the mother figure Tomoe. Mattia, the once heroine now villain, is a wanted fugitive. Yeah, we saw that, and it's currently being hunted by Inspector Zenigata. Lupin appears to be unaware of this fact, and as a result, is likely to will lock on in the future episode. Mattia's innocence make her okay. Not these. Like I want an actual understand. Okay. God damn. Where is the? Okay, in episode 22, a young lady named Finn is searching for information on her deceased mother, Mariel. Yeah, there you go. In an effort to do so, Finn treks up to slowly north to the place where she was born 16 years ago. Unfortunately, Mariel had to leave for America and live with friends during the time leading up to Finn's birth. Oh, and ultimately her death. The reason for this, while not entirely clear, appears to be trigger warning. Assault and... okay, rape. In reading her diary, Finn had discovered that her mother was in love with a boy named Sean, okay, which she had assumed may be her father. Yeah, the rather horrific truth is unveiled via a phone call. Oh, I understand now. Okay, that is why she had that when she understood in the end, like that when she understood in the end that her father wasn't Sean, she realized that, and that is why she got that sudden like when her like her what's that word her breath got like stuck, and she was like like kind of suffocating. Lupin comes in. I was like, why did she have that sudden like episode? She realized at that point, yeah, which makes sense because she heard the final tape, and she realized it wasn't Sean that was her father, and that's what like triggered that. Okay, it makes sense now. I see. Okay. Okay, the rather horrific truth is unveiled via a phone call logged by Mariel in an audio diary, which was not only make it clear that Alan is likely the girl's father, but also, yeah, it was not consent, with her consent. Okay. Result of in an argument between the boys, and eventually gunshots can be heard. Oh, so that was the thing in the end, the gunshot. Okay, and eventually gunshots can be heard. The pair became murdered in cold blood by a lady with pistol, who then proceeds to off herself, saying that the line, "Madam, did I do a good job?" Okay, this implies Tomo is the one behind the murder, likely raising plenty of questions for the viewer. Why were the boys murdered? Yeah, what could have happened to cause it? Yeah, okay, obviously, like both of them were killed over there. We saw. Why did Tomo want to do that? What was the point? Not only the guy who like assaulted Mariel, but also Sean as well. Why? What could have happened to cause this, and what's Tomoe's deal? Okay, wait, so alright, so a lot of the mysteries that I was kind of confused about still haven't been answered. For example, the final part, I was so confused. I was like, why did that happen? Obviously, I understood that it was Tomoe who somehow did something to that one person and hypnotized them to kill those two, and then kill herself as well. I was thinking, why did she do that? Am I missing something? No, like the answer hasn't been given still. It's probably going to come out later in the future episodes. Right. Okay, interesting. I see. I understand. I have a better understanding now, at least. Um. Okay. All right. This whole part has been cleared up for me. This episode was, like, I have to say, it was a in a very interesting way. They kind of um they structured this episode. Like it was like I said, the part that really was confusing was how they switched from past to the present and how they switched perspectives. Once we were seeing everything from Finn's perspective, and then suddenly we go to Anna's perspective, and which kind of confused me again. And like I said, since Finn and Mariel had the same face, it made it even difficult to understand when the perspective changed. And for a moment, I was kind of flabbergasted. I'm like, what's happening? And then I realized, oh, this is the past. And the final section in the end, like I said, the whole section where they get shot, those two get shot, that again confused me. I was like, why did that happen? So turns out the answer hasn't been given. We still don't know what's up with Tomoe. Then wait a minute, who is that person who shot those two? You know, the one who said, like, madam, did I do a good job? And kiss her? Like, is she also one of Tomoe's students? I'm guessing. Okay. All right. I understand now. I understand this episode a lot better now. All right. So now let me go in step by step and try to see like if I have missed something within all the confusion. I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of the things that probably was, Okay, so in the beginning we get to see Lupin is trying to find out, kind of trying to find out again stuff about Tomoe. Over there Goemon is fishing and Jigen is just there. Then we meet with Finn. Okay, so she's coming back and she's like looking at her mother's diary. And yeah, like I said, her mother's face and her face made me so confused. That's why I was thinking like it was her trauma, where she was probably thinking everything happened to her mother, but that wasn't the case. It was actually happened to her, and she was just like had like a mental trauma or something like that. So she goes to her mother's place, and I think she was talking to her grandmother, wasn't she? Wait a minute. Yeah, grandpa. Wait, so that was okay. So I'm guessing this is her. No. Wait, it makes no sense. Wait a minute. She was talking to her grandpa, and these were her mother's parents. So grandpa and grandma. Which grandpa is she talking to then? Like, yeah, I know. Like, there's grandpa from the father's side as well, but she never knew who the father was. Her father was. Which grandpa is she talking to? Since she never knew who her father was, how could she know her father from her grandpa? God damn it. How could she know her grandpa from her father's side? It makes no sense. Who is she talking to then? Or maybe like someone over there who takes care of her or something. Like she probably calls her grandpa or something. Okay, yeah, this episode was weird in some like I again, like here, like I said, this was her mother's place. So the people here who are staying here were her mother's parents. So yeah, they are her grandpa and grandma. Who, like I said, okay, you know what? I think it's probably someone she calls grandpa. It's not like her grandpa, but she's someone over there where, like, who's taking care of her. Like she calls him grandpa or something like that. So yeah, here like she comes in and like Daniel like is looking for Anna. He brings her up and she's like, oh, we kept the room as the same as when you were born. And Anna's like, oh, I'm trying to find the tapes. And Daniel says that, oh, my wife is going through the past, so appear to be reliving the time when she spent with her mother 15 years ago. So you can see a lot of pictures here. Yeah, their family pictures. And then you can see Daniel, Anna, and Mariel. Okay, and then she pins the photos on the bulletin board and tries to figure out who the father is. What led up to my mother's death? Why did she leave America to come to this far away place at the age of 16? Let's investigate. And another thing I kind of understand, the reason why Tomoe was hired. Like they said, Tomoe was hired uh, to help her with her trauma because of what happened in America. She comes back, and that's why Tomoe was hired. I see. Okay. Okay, so here in the diary, Miley is talking about Sean, and always talking about Sean, talking about how he's like kind of a like lean guy, but he wants to be in the team. That's why he chucks protein drinks and stuff. And like he wasn't like picked for the team, so she was sad. Okay, and she's like, oh, someone slim and who can run fast. Tries to figure out who it is. While all of this is happening, we switch back to Lupin, where Lupin is trying to see, like they got like a fish and everything. Okay, so and then we switch back to Finn again. And here, like I said, this part really confused me, and I went on a whole I made like a whole theory myself, where Anna was like, "Oh, I better hurry! I won't finish in time." She was reliving the past here again. It wasn't that it was, and Finn, like I thought Finn even thought she had a kid. That's why I made this whole theory about Finn also reliving the past and her mother not existing. This lady Anna was actually her mother, and she was also kind of like in a traumatic past. She had a miscarriage, and that's why she made this whole story about her mother who never existed, while her actual mother is this lady Anna. That's what I thought. Here it was a big confusion, and I made like a whole ass theory myself. Anyways, but yeah, she knew what's going on. She was smiling. That is why she was smiling, because she was like like patting her stomach, and she was, yeah. So phone calls. And you know what really, stuff really confused me again. Like, there's a few things. The fact that Finn was so, her face had no, I guess you could say, I cannot figure out what she was thinking. Here where the lady, like Anna's like, oh, Sean is calling. Again, she's reliving the past. That's why she's thinking Sean is calling. While here, Finn is just looking at her. And now I understand why she was looking at her that way, because she knew she's reliving the past. But at that point of time, like I said, I made a whole ass theory. That's why I was thinking that she is also thinking that Sean is calling, while it wasn't Sean who was calling. Okay, why did mom not take Sean's call? Like, now we understand why she never took Sean's call, because of the trauma, and the fact that Sean genuinely cared for her, and after what happened with that whole other guy, she was afraid, and she like that whole thing, and she didn't want to face him, or at least talk to him. So Finn is like, did mom had a fight with Sean? Because at this point of time, she probably had already decided that Sean was her father, because everything was written about Sean. That is why she definitely assumed that at this point of time. Okay, now here comes in the other guy, Alan. I know he doesn't actually like me one bit, still he comes to me. Alan is convinced that all of the girls are in love with him. That may be true for some of the others, but I'm different. Okay, there you go. And then everything just stops. Because we know what happens. After that, she never wrote the diary again, because she was, mentally scarred. And then here we go, the Anna comes in, and she's like, oh, the lady who teaches you came in. She's like, what lady? And she's like, oh, the private tutor that your grandfather arranged to have work with. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm confused here. Private tutor that your grandfather arranged. Who is her grandfather? Isn't he her grandfather? Daniel? Who is Daniel then? Okay, here we go. Like I'm saying, the fact that she never knew who her father was kind of shows that she definitely didn't know who her grandfather was from the father's side. So from her father's side, grandfather and grandmother, she shouldn't know who they are. So there, she should have one grandfather and one grandmother. Who are these two, aren't they? Then who is this grandfather that even Daniel, what's happening? Okay, this part again confuses me now. Right, anyways. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Oh, her great grandfather. I just realized. That means, okay, I just realized that because they're reliving the past. That's why he's like, oh, your grandfather, because he's referring to Finn as her mother. So her mother's grandfather, that is her mother's like parents' father. So the person that Finn was talking to was her great grandfather. Because obviously, like, like you cannot really call your great grandfather your great grandfather. You call her your grandfather. So that's why she was calling her grandfather. Okay, I see, that makes sense. I think so. So that was her great grandfather. And again, since Anna is reliving the past, for her, it's Mariel's grandfather. That's why, like, okay, I see, I understand now. I think so, I understand. So here she's talking to her great grandfather again, I think, talking about the aurora and stuff. And hey grandpa, I have a question for you. Daniel told me something. She said that you hired a private tutor to work with my mom. Yeah, an old friend of mine recommended me. I mentioned before that Mariel had delicate constitution, right? Wanted to reassure her that everything would be okay after you were born. What does it have to do with a private tutor? She's supposed to be someone who could elevate traumatic memories. There you go. And now we understand why. Because she came back from America, and that's why they hired Tomoe to help her with the trauma. But sadly, Mariel passed away. Okay, so nobody knows much about the tutor. Anna's the only one who knows about, because she used to take tea to them. You can see from her perspective what's happening. Okay, so here we find the tapes, and after we find the tapes, we get more information about Mariel. Okay, I found the cassette tapes with recordings of Mariel's voice, a session that she had with her tutor and my grandpa sent. Okay, I'm listening to the tapes. I might find out what happened. 16-year-old Mariel Clark, the tapes that she left. Okay, starting today, the tutor that my dad arranged for will come. So yeah, after coming here, she didn't write her diary, but she started taping herself. Dad just decides everything without asking me. All the study abroad stuff is a lie. Okay, so then we switch the perspective again. The tutor is here. Let's keep the door open. What would you like to do for a first day? What do you want to learn about? Tomoe asks her. Okay, so last night I heard my mother's voice for the first time. Probably won't see the aurora. Okay, all that. Okay, so here you can see she makes like a little room, like where she can talk about her, like, things, like a little radio thing, like, broadcasting. And Finn's room, here we go. So I'm guessing a lot of people can follow her here, and she's going to be like, live podcast kind of thing, I'm guessing. Something like that. She's just going to talk about her stuff, and people can join her room. And this is where Mattia and Lupin, like, gets to know about her and, like, joins her room. At first, nobody was listening, but... Okay, so the next tape, you have a call from America. Is it from Sean again? Yes. I'm sorry, can you tell him that I'm not here? So she never took Sean's calls. Like I said, we don't know what's happening. Okay, so here we get to see Tomoe comes and asks Mariel about, do you have feelings for him? Or maybe you don't have. And she's like, okay, if he puts that kind of sad look on your face, then I suggest that you avoid speaking with him for the time being. And she shows that, like, you taught my mother as well. So Tomoe also taught her mother, that is Anna, as well. I did. For the 2 years before you were born, I served as your mother's private tutor. She was good at every subject, all that stuff. She was an exceptional student. That is why her father threw an absolute fit when he found out that Stefan had gotten. Oh! Again, I was under a huge misunderstanding. Oh god. This episode is made in a very confusing way. These two aren't her grandparents. That is why I was so confused. Stefan is okay. So these two, Anna and what's his name? Daniel. These two are actually people who looked after Mariel. They were like not caretakers, but probably like friends, and were taking care of her. They aren't related to them. Her grandfather is no, her father is Stefan. No, wait, what? No, sorry. Oh god, everything's getting confusing here. Her grandfather is Stefan. Her grandmother is Mariel's mother, who we see in this picture, who was also taught by Tomoe. Mariel is, like, yeah, their daughters, Stefan and her daughter. And okay, so Finn is talking to Stefan in the phone, who is her grandfather. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, like I said, again, I was under a huge misunderstanding. These two, Daniel and Anna, aren't her grandfathers or grandmother. They are just people who took care of Mariel when she was here. The fact that like really made me think that they were her parents is because I think they mentioned they weren't her parents. I just made an assumption like abruptly. Is that the fact that Anna was so what's that word, affected by the whole Mariel's situation. That's why I thought she was her daughter or something. But no, yeah, never mind. I think they even mentioned that, like at the beginning, yeah, that I'm just here to look at the place where my mother lived. Where my mother lived doesn't mean that they are her parents. She just lived here, while she came back. Okay, right. This episode is very confusing. I feel like so many things. Have you always worn a kimono from there? Yes, for as long as I can remember. Okay, now here Lupin kind of figures out, like, is listening to them, Lupin and Mattia, tutor who wears kimono. Okay, so from here onwards we see it's day 3. After listening to 2 days worth of tips, I get the impression that the tutor was gentle and kind. She apparently wore a kimono. You can see that Mattia is here listening to her. I have a guest for once. I'm very happy. Let's continue with the third of Mariel's lessons. There you go. And Matthias listening to her. Okay, I'm going to talk about whatever comes to my mind. What I heard from her yesterday was entirely new to me. I knew my mother had given birth to me in her teens, but I didn't know her family was opposed to it. She pushed back and had me in the end, though. Thank you, Mommy. It's all because of you that I get to be here today. And then the baby kicked. Okay, I know that it's not your fault. I'm sorry. There's nothing to be sorry. Okay, here we go. Someone comes in. Before I left America, I visited that boy, Alan. Here you go. I believe that was his name. He was a very kind and quite a gentleman. And your best friend Catherine was very anxious to know how you're doing. Okay, who is this Catherine? That other girl? You and Alan hit it off and then fell for each other. That's not true, madam. It's alright. I had heard everything from your mother. So I'm guessing she was blocking off her memories about Alan because of the trauma. It is alright. It is alright. I'm kind of like hypnotizing her. Right. Okay, so we'll be listening to part 6 of Mariel's lesson. It's sad to see we're down to just 2 tapes. Okay. So, tell me if the doctor is treating you well. Doctor? Well, the teacher is treating me kindly. There you go. Because Tome was teacher and doctor as well. Because like because of the trauma. Okay, I understand now. Mile was blocking off her memories about the whole Allen incident. That's why she's like, wait, doctor, teacher. She was treating me very kindly. Is that so? I'm glad to hear that. The tutor is here to see you, dear. Okay. It's such a quiet and lovely evening, isn't it, Mariel? Yet it is, Madame Tomo. And you can see Matia's pretty pissed off about this whole thing. Go on, close your eyes for me, Mariel. There was a bright sky at your enrollment ceremony, yes? You and your very first school, your very classmates. At the age of 15, you felt very nervous. Then you met a certain boy. Okay, this scene was very weird where like we see like Matia just walking up like through the train tracks. That was very interesting. And that boy's name was, I don't know. I never took that picture. Alan, there you go. Alan had been shunned by everyone, but you grew close to him and became his support. I think it's wonderful that you fell in love with him and you were ultimately blessed with his baby. Okay, here we go. You are special, Mariel. I know you can harbor affection for him. Okay, here we go. So obviously Finn is confused. She's like, how did Alan become the person my mother loves? So Lupin joins in. Matia realizes. Mariel, what about Sean? Okay, Mariel Kirk, Finn Kirk. Don't you like her anymore? Okay, you can see the graves for those two. Sean, Ariel, Alan, and the girl who killed herself, I'm guessing. And Lupin's kind of figuring it out. None of these feels right and it's freaking me out. In the beginning, my mother was very insistent that what the tutor had said was all wrong. Yesterday, she'd already accepted it. Yeah, that's weird, right? Was she put in some kind of hypnosis? Wrong. Okay. So Lupin went up in the north and Zenigata is trying to find Matia and is going there as well. We meet the other little girl as well who's like infatuated with Lupin. We saw her in the previous one of the previous episodes. And while Lupin and the crew goes off over there in the north. Okay, so the time for the final tape. The final tape. Okay, Mariel, you have a phone call. Here you go. Is it Alan? It's Sean. Okay, should I tell you're out? And she's fine. Like, all right, let me answer. After so long, she decided to go and takes up the phone. And Sean, what's going on? Nothing. Just wanted to know how you're doing. I'm glad. Okay. She's like, what? Because I really didn't think you were going to answer the phone. Lupin and Matias already there. Lupin comes in and is like listening. And Matia sees that. Mariel, so listen. I'm sorry, Sean. But you and I are... Okay, here we go. Alan comes in. Is that Mariel you're talking to? Mariel, it's me, Alan. You remember? I've been worried. You better get back here soon. Stop it. This is your fault. I can't believe you did something so horrible to Mariel. Obviously, Finn is like, what's going on? What's happening? Mariel was totally cool with it. She didn't so know. What the hell is the problem? Mariel would never fall in love with a scumbag like you. Okay, so here Mariel, I'm guessing, starts having her labor pain. So here's the footage. Matia looks at the footage. Are you accusing me of assaulting Mariel? Okay, so again, the way this episode was done was so like all over the place. It really confused me. I didn't understand what the hell was happening here. Why are we suddenly seeing this place where a girl suddenly shoots two people? So yeah, so this was the footage where all of that was happening. Like this place was here. You can see there's in the corner two guys are like fighting with each other. This is where the conversation was happening. So Sean was calling Mariel, and Alan somehow came here and decided to intrude on the call. And they started fighting, and Mariel was listening to that in her phone. So here, this lady comes in, who I don't know who she is. Tomoe's people, probably. She comes in, and she shoots them too. Like I said, unless and until I read that summary, that whole thing, I would have never understood a lot of things. Like like, the way this episode was made was very cool. However, I feel like it's very confusing at the same time as well, unless and until you properly try to figure out what's going on. Like you have to like literally sit down and properly go through this whole episode to get those few clues, because the scenes came right one after the other without giving you time to process what happened in the previous scene. So yeah, so she shoots these two. Now this part is still a mystery. Why did Tomoe make that girl shoot? And you can see Matia's kind of smiling. I don't know what the hell that was. And then suddenly, okay, she said so she failed. What failed? I don't understand that part as well. I'm so confused here. This part I don't understand. Why she said so she failed. What failed? And then the lady's like, oh, madam, did I do a good job? And Madam Tomoe shoots herself and dies. And obviously this is where Finn realizes what's going on and realizes the whole Sean and Alan situation, who is her father. And that's why she started having a panic attack, I think. You know, because again, here I was confused. I was like, okay, Maya was probably having like labor pain or something like that, and her trauma was coming up. Why did Finn suddenly start having a panic attack? But it makes more sense because this is where she understood what had happened to Mariel. And after realizing who her father is, she had a panic attack. And Lupin realized that and immediately went off. And, you know, like, it's like, oh, Finn, relax and take deep breaths. And yeah. And then we get to see again Mariel a little bit. And this is where she gives birth. And yeah, this is where even Anna realizes that this is actually Mariel's girl, not Mariel. I wanted to see you for so long. And then like we get to see after she gave birth to Finn, she got the notebook. In the back, she turns the pages. And yeah, there was like a memo of all the names she was thinking about. Alvin, Noel, you know, Alicia, Emma, and Finn was the one she kind of, you know. And that's why she gave her name Finn. Mile is the one who picked the name Finn for you. And Lupin's like, happy birthday, Finn. And she's like, yeah, I just heard the lady shouting, so I left. I came here. So Finn is now 16. Lupin goes out, and Matia's just looking at this. Everything's good, yeah. Okay, so Matia thinks about what Tomoe said. You must always kill your target without fail. I know you can do that because you are special. Okay, so yeah, even Lupin's like, what the hell are you trying to accomplish, Tomoe? So he meets Zenigata in the middle, and she's like, oh, Pops, how are you? And Zenigata's like, wait, you're here? Yeah, obviously Zenigata's like bigger, like the case that she's following now isn't really Lupin, but Matia. So I'm guessing they won't really like, you know, try to catch, like Zenigata probably won't try to catch Lupin at this point at least. He'll probably be like, all right, Lupin, you know what, for now I'm going to work together with you. But after we go back to Japan, I'm again going to get you. Or something like that he's probably going to say, and then they're going to work together. At least to try to bring Matia back or something like that. Okay, so yeah, this episode was confusing, but it was entertaining, you know, trying to figure out what happened little by little. It was all over the place. The whole perspective change and everything was very, like, you know, interesting. Not only that, again, we still don't have any idea what the hell Tomo is planning. And the ending scene, why did she like make a girl kill those two? Again, that's a mystery. Let's wait and see how this goes. And yeah, so that is it. That's my reaction to episode number 22 of Lupin the Third Part 6. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week with another episode of Lupin the Third Part 6. So I'm guessing we're going to go into the final 2 episodes, more of Tomoe, and probably the mystery will be revealed. So let's see how it goes. So yeah, see you guys next week. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.